Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into something super interesting, super relevant to your lives, India's 5-year plans. From the time we gained independence, these plans have been like the blueprints to our nation's growth. We're talking about the visionaries, the challenges, the wins, and how these plans shaped the India we live in today. Buckle up because this is going to be an insightful ride. Imagine India right after independence. We inherited an economy that was not in the best shape. That's where the idea of planned development came in. India's approach was unique, shaped by our challenges and aspirations. And that's how India's 5-year plans were born. Think of our 5-year plans like a massive puzzle, with each piece representing a different sector of the economy. The government would assess the current situation, identify the gaps, and then set ambitious yet achievable targets. The Planning Commission, formed in 1950, became the architect of India's economic destiny. In 2015, the Planning Commission was replaced by NITI Aayog, focusing on innovation, technology, and sustainable growth. Picture this. 1951, India's just taken its first steps as an independent nation. The first 5-year plan, our debut on the world stage of planned development. The focus was on reviving agriculture and kickstarting industrial growth, investing heavily in dams and irrigation projects. The iconic Bhakra Nangal Dam, a symbol of modern India. We targeted a growth rate of 2.1%, but achieved 3.6%. This early success instilled confidence in our ability to chart our own course. With the foundation laid, it was time to shift gears. The second 5-year plan, crafted by P.C. Mahalanobis, focused on rapid industrialization. The goal was to transform India from an agrarian economy to an industrial powerhouse. Tariffs on imports encouraged Indians to buy local. Aiming for 4.5% growth, we achieved 4.27%, laying groundwork for future expansion. The third plan continued the push for industrialization, but also emphasized agricultural self-sufficiency. The Green Revolution, with its high-yielding varieties of wheat and rice, was a game-changer. It aimed to make India a net food producer and reduce our dependence on grain imports. But this plan faced some serious challenges. The 1962 Sino-Indian War and the 1965 Indo-Pak War put a huge strain on our resources. Defense spending skyrocketed, diverting funds away from development projects. A severe drought crippled agricultural output, leading to food shortages and economic instability. The target growth rate of 5.6% seemed a distant dream as the actual growth rate plummeted to a dismal 2.4%. By the late 1960s, India faced a tough choice. The economy was in a slump, and the aftershocks of the third plan were still being felt. Indira Gandhi, who had become Prime Minister, knew a course correction was needed. The fourth 5-year plan, launched in 1969, marked a shift in strategy. It aimed to achieve growth with stability and progress towards self-reliance. The focus was on tackling poverty through social justice programs while simultaneously boosting industrial and agricultural production. One of the most significant moves was the nationalization of 14 major banks. Despite these efforts, the fourth plan faced its own share of obstacles. The fifth 5-year plan, launched in 1974, aimed to eradicate poverty, or Garibi Hatao. Prime Minister Indira Gandhi made poverty alleviation the central theme. The focus was on employment, rural infrastructure, and social welfare. The Minimum Needs Program provided water, sanitation, and health care. Energy security was also emphasized. The plan achieved a growth rate of 4.8%, exceeding its target. Political instability cut the plan short in 1978. The late 1970s were a period of political and economic uncertainty in India. The Janata Party, in power in 1978, introduced the Rolling Plan, scrapping the fifth 5-year plan. This new approach aimed for greater flexibility in planning. It allowed for annual adjustments based on economic performance. Critics argued it hindered long-term investments and created uncertainty. The rolling plan was discontinued in 1980 when Indira Gandhi returned to power. The sixth five-year plan, launched in 1980, marked a new era in Indian economic policy. It shifted from socialist policies to a market-oriented approach, emphasizing economic liberalization and private sector participation. The plan also focused on population control for sustainable development, achieving a growth rate of 5.7%, surpassing its target of 5.2%. The seventh five-year plan, launched in 1985 under Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, aimed to accelerate economic growth. The plan emphasized technological modernization and global competitiveness. It also focused on social justice and poverty alleviation. Achieving a growth rate of 6.01%, it exceeded its target of 5%. By the early 1990s, India faced new challenges. The collapse of the Soviet Union and domestic mismanagement led to a severe crisis. India was on the brink of defaulting on its international debt. The eighth five-year plan was postponed. Instead, the government opted for annual plans for 1990 to 1992. These plans addressed the crisis and bought time for long-term strategy. This period saw the initiation of economic reforms. The eighth five-year plan, launched in 1992, marked a watershed moment in India's economic history. India embarked on economic liberalization, privatization, and globalization, known as the LPG reforms. Initiated by Finance Minister Manmohan Singh, these reforms aimed to dismantle the license Raj and open up the economy. The eighth plan achieved an average growth rate of 6.8%, laying the foundation for high growth and transforming India into a global economic player. And that's a wrap on our journey through the fascinating history of India's five-year plans. From those early days of rebuilding a nation to embracing liberalization, these plans have been witness to India's economic transformation. They represent our collective ambition, our struggles, and our triumphs. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep hustling.